7:15 on a Wednesday night. Congregants arrived early for the evening's Bible service at the Friendship Missionary Baptist Church of Miami, Florida.
In fact, that's the reason that we can love folk that hate us.
But the gathering was about more than understanding Scripture. This class began with a viewing of a documentary.
Take a look. I'll be back with you in just a minute.
Long before gospel emerged in Chicago, its roots took hold in fields and plantations across the Deep South.
Black music has always been a means by which the early enslaved Africans came to understand themselves as a people.
Some 300 predominantly black churches in Florida are now teaching African American history after state leaders limited how the subject could be taught in public schools.
But that's what happened on the plantations.
As a religious leader, why is it important for you to teach African American history here in your church?
I'm in an African American community, and of course I'm African American. And so I think it's an obligation and responsibility for us as a faith institution to keep our history alive. We've got many of our young people that have been struggling with some of the decisions in our Board of Education have made of late, where they are not necessarily afforded the opportunity to get our narrative of Black history. And so what we're trying to do is make sure the parents get the children to church so that they can get this.
Advanced placement studies in African American history were banned from Florida high schools early this year. The new state curriculum also contains lessons suggesting that some Africans even benefited from slavery. Additionally, teachers are not allowed to discuss historical facts that might cause a child discomfort or guilt. Perhaps like this one.
Can you believe it was not until the late 60s and the early 70s that Miamians could cross the bridge and go over to Miami Beach? The only way you could go over there is you had to have an identification card that said you were going to clean somebody's house or you were going to cut their yard.
The elderly shared their own experiences.
And a white lady got on the bus. She came to the back and she sit right next to me. Well, that caused a problem. The bus driver wouldn't take off. He said, "You get up out the seat and move back."
To preserve these stories, an organization called Faith in Florida created a toolkit with videos, guides, and reading materials to support faith leaders in teaching Black history and Black culture.
Black history is American history. This country was built by Black African Americans. So we need that. We need the history. If you don't know where you're coming from or where you came from, how can you possibly determine where you're going?
But we are a resilient people.
Faith in Florida says that congregations in over 28 states have joined them and are now also using their lesson plans. Mitza Soledad Perez, CGTN, Miami.